Greetings and salutations, one and all. Welcome back to another exciting week of Stars Without Number Olympus Rising. Super excited for this week. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to get so much stuff done. And as I say that is probably not going to happen at all. They're probably going to get stuck on a planet doing a whole bunch of side quests, and none of the stuff is going to get done. But how about we let the players decide that for themselves? Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Yo.
Hi.
Will just had to restart his computer, so he'll be back in a minute.
That's good. That's good. So, Devin.
You monster.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can we start with that?
Yeah, actually, you know what?
Let's just get that out of the way.
I'm just gonna hold on. We gotta wait for Will though, because I told him to do something very specific.
Oh, all right.
So Devin, I don't know if they caught you up, but
I don't think so.
Okay, good. So here's the deal. I think you should go to. Oh wait, I should have actually played it, shouldn't I? I should have actually just played it on stream. But for Devin's purposes, Devin, you should go to this particular right here. Go to that. Go to 32 minutes and watch for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
It really is possibly one of the funniest things that has ever occurred. At all, actually. But yes, I know what Megan and I are going to say how our weeks have been. So, Matt, tell us what you've been doing all week, sir. Feel free to elaborate on any cool things in the lab if you so choose.
Man, same old here. I wish I had something, but just more of the grind.
Yeah? You said you said you made a breakthrough the other day.
Oh, yeah. No, I was wrong.
Aww. Sad.
Yeah. Welcome to science.
Oh, man, that's fantastic. It's totally visible. Awesome.
Yeah. So, nothing big.
That's cool.
Chipping away though.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, that's fantastic. So I'm gonna play a little clip here that you all have seen before, but just in case anybody missed it, this is me and Megan playing Divinity.
Crap. Oh my god, you have the cutest little... Oh my god, Pixie! Can I have you this?
Well, you are quite in luck. Yes, quite in luck. For I have a unique grasp, get it, on this
And you
situation
make
indeed.
Oh my god.
Tell me
My
about
friends,
yourself.
if I had more of them, would call me Pincer.
Oh,
A
you
pity
don't
there
have
aren't more pals
friends.
around, for mine is an upbeat
So this goes on for a
start to
while.
finish, so ask away. His name I do not know, but I can tell you he was a very experienced
Yep,
pearl diver.
this is our
But a
experience.
few pearls a day wasn't enough. He wanted to be rich, better than
Oh,
the
we
other
can
divers in
dive.
Sicily.
Do you think this is where we can dive? How do
Yeah,
we
maybe.
I'm so glad.
I'm so sorry.
And closely, I can
And
hear
then
them talking
we get to
to
this
people
point.
Sometimes, I wish I could get them to talk to me.
Oh my god, can we stop now? Bye.
Poor Pincer.
Bye.
I know, I'm so sorry.
Oh my goodness.
I'll come back and talk to you later, okay? Okay, friend? Okay.
And this is the moment I realized I needed to do
It
something.
was great meeting you too. You're adorable.
Please, Agatha. Please.
But I'm her best friend.
Please, Agatha.
Talk to me.
Hold on.
Your
Okay,
grave
that's better now.
opens to welcome you.
Did I do good? Did fucking I do good?
You're a monster. You're an absolute monster.
That's pretty much what happened, guys. That's pretty much it. So if you'd like to see more Divinity Original Sin between me and Megan, totally check out my channel. It's great. You guys are here now? Awesome. If you're not and you're watching on YouTube, come check it out. It's fucking incredible. I'm gonna unmute these guys now. Incredible. Ah, that was so good.
I hate you.
Megan, did Bucket Night do good?
Oh my god, you are all monsters. Absolute monsters. I hate everyone.
Meg, I'm with you on this one.
Thank
Don't
you,
worry.
Matt. I have you and I have the other Will. That's all I need.
He's a savage.
I literally lose it more watching it than I did in the moment. Oh man, it's really the best thing that's ever occurred. I hope Devin gets there soon. But in the meantime, yeah. So Will, how's your week been, sir?
Oh, a lot like Matt's, just kind of a grind.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. I had Will in tears this morning watching that VOD, though. It was pretty good.
I needed it, honestly, after this morning.
It was so good. Oh, man. Megan?
Is there like a hardcore mode where you can't make manual saves?
Yes,
or...
there totally
okay.
is.
If
I'll have
that
to
had
watch it
been
later.
there, I would have given you some actual monster points, but, you know.
I mean, yeah, you could watch it later, Devin, but, it's really
Yeah,
good.
it's just I don't know. My internet's being stupid the past couple of days, and it plays for 30 seconds, and then it's I need to load more, and it plays for 30 seconds, and I need to load more. So it's
At least the good news is Roll20 doesn't take a whole lot of bandwidth, so we're good.
yeah, this is all working fine. So
Yeah, no problem. Literally the funniest shit ever. Just go watch it, maybe on our break or whatever.
yeah.
It's probably the funniest thing that's ever occurred on my stream, literally to date. Megan, how's your week been?
Well, I'm currently in the process of finding somebody else to play Divinity with. So if you
Hey,
know anybody,
listen.
let me know.
Again,
She's looking for good counselors to
Also,
work through her trauma.
Called some therapists today.
yeah. So here's
just
the
in
deal.
case.
Here's the deal. Literally, you are the worst to me in that game. Okay, you actually tried to threaten me with a knuckle sandwich in game. So,
Like verbally or as a character action?
as a character action, verbally and as a character action, she threatened me with a knuckle sandwich. One of her dialogue option was knuckle sandwich.
I mean, it's because I have to put up with shit like that. So there you go.
Yeah, but see, that was just for fun. Bucket Knight would never actually do that. Anyway, needless to say, my week has literally been Divinity and work, mostly Divinity. So
I just what show was it that made that kind of thought bubble Flash to and then Flash to reality really popular? Was that Scrubs?
yeah,
Because
I mean
feel like
Scrubs for sure did it a lot. That was one of their key hooks. I don't know if they're the ones that made it popular, but yeah,
I don't know.
No, that's yep.
I don't watch a lot of TV, but I feel like that's the equivalent of what
Yes.
you did.
Absolutely.
It's just
Absolutely
wouldn't it
it
be
is.
great if
Yeah, wouldn't this be the funniest scenario to occur here? And then that's not
your
actually
conscience-
what happens, right?
your conscience gets the better of you, and
Yeah. And sometimes we just explode for no reason in that game, and that's probably the best part. Honestly, the part where I
Because
just
we don't
fucking
know the mechanics and we just screw up.
no.
royally.
Okay,
Yeah.
hold on. Sometimes the mechanics are stupid. Okay, listen. If you are on fire and you charge through an electrified cloud, it creates poison. And the poison, when ignited by the fire that you are on, remind you, then explodes. causing you to explode the entire charge route, including yourself, in a great ball of fiery glory.
Yeah, so I'll agree with you there. Like, that's amusing, but it also makes no goddamn sense.
Right, it makes no sense. I was
that's
like,
not how electricity. That's just not how electricity
Right.
or anything for that matter.
Just because
Right.
that's not how any of that works.
so like,
No,
I get
no aspect of that makes sense.
well, but here's the worst part. It tells you in like the tutorial. It says, "Hey, poison clouds explode with fire." So in my mind, I'm looking at this. I'm like, "Cool. This is not a poison cloud. This is a lightning cloud." And so if I charge through it, I'll be fine because I'm on fire. Like that won't interact. But that's not true at all. Also, random enemies will just explode without any like prior warning. For example, we were fighting the boss we killed right before we ended last night, and she summoned these 2 fiery dogs, and I charged in, and then I did my whirlwind attack, and I killed both dogs, which happened to chain reaction explode, killing me, another one of our party members, and like bringing the mage we were fighting down to like half health. Just because.
Nice.
So, like, the net effect was actually something you wanted.
Minus the fact that 2 out of 4 members of the party were now dead.
Yeah,
Yes.
minus the fact that only the 2 ranged were in, and we couldn't fight her on our own.
Yeah, we
But-
ended up having to reload and do it again, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of those interactions are just hilarious. Oh, the other one that was fucking hilarious last night, Megan's like, "Hey, I got this ice bomb. I'm gonna see if I
That
can
was the
freeze this
best.
guy. I'm gonna see if I can freeze this guy." And I'm like, "Okay, cool, no problem." And he was like in a place that would have been like kind of tricky to freeze him by himself. She's like, "Well, I hope this doesn't freeze him." And she throws the grenade, and the grenade goes out and it hits, and then the whole party gets frozen because it
Like
just,
everyone on the map, like almost literally
yeah.
the entire map.
So what we didn't know ahead of time is if the freeze grenade hits blood, it will then freeze the blood, turning it into ice, which will then freeze the people standing on it. So all of our party members and everybody on the map is now on top of this ice. She freezes actually herself, which was hilarious.
It was pretty good.
You know,
It
for,
was pretty,
for some
pretty damn
reason,
impressive.
I know it's only loosely related, but for some reason this makes me think of the cats walking through blood in Dwarf Fortress and just unexpected things to do with blood puddles.
Yeah. No, there's literally like a...
only tangentially related, but that's
Yeah.
exactly what that triggered.
No, absolutely. And there's also an ability in the game that you regain health while standing in blood puddles. Or like gain extra attack damage by standing in blood puddles.
So it's like Mario standing in water.
Yeah, yeah, there's all kinds of different things that can occur in that game. It's actually kind of hard to look and see what all of it does and figure it out, but we're going through process of elimination because we don't like to cheat, right, Megan?
We ain't no cheats.
Cool.
You're no super sleuths either, but
Hey, we finally solved the mystery. And by the way,
It's true, we officially did it.
in less than 48 hours playtime, sir. Just FYI.
holy sh-
What are we at right now, though?
I actually don't know. I'd have to open up Steam. I'm not 100% sure. Probably around 18 or 20, I think.
Here, I'll look it up.
In the meantime, Devin, how's your week been?
Yes, sir. Uneventful for the most part. Just in the process of packing. I have to be out of my apartment by the 30th. Yeah.
Has a decision been
Yesterday.
made as to where you are going?
Hooray! Mother-in-law's house.
Oh, okay, got it. Until
no,
more
really.
plans occur.
Yeah, until things happen.
Got
Yeah.
it. Makes sense. Makes sense. Well, anything else besides packing everything?
No.
just being engaged.
Yeah.
How are the puppies?
Fantastic.
Are they?
That-
Do they sense the change in the air?
Not yet. I don't think because we haven't packed a whole lot. We got like 4 boxes done. That's it. So.
Cool. Yeah, you got
Yeah.
28 more days.
Yeah. But a lot of the stuff I'm selling. So. if anybody knows anybody in the South Florida area that wants a bedroom set of furniture, a desk, or a cabinet, or a bookshelf, or another cabinet, let me know.
Yeah, I actually know this couple that live down there. Guy's name is Devin.
Ah.
And, oh wait, that's you. Because you're the only motherfucker I know in South Florida.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Wait, what? Doesn't... I thought Will lived.
Will lives in Orlando, where I do.
Liar.
Is that not...
I mean...
No, Orlando is Central Florida.
Yeah.
Does it really matter?
Yes.
I'm 4 hours away.
It's
driving.
That's like the difference between saying Virginia and West Virginia are the same places.
If I can drive there, they're basically the same place.
Oh.
Well,
yeah.
First of all, I don't know if you know this, but actually, you know where the Mason-Dixon line is, right? And then it actually ends at the top of Florida, and then Florida is no longer the South. I don't know if you were aware of this or not. It's basically Little Cuba.
No, man, I'm a northern boy. I don't know anything about that.
Yeah. No, Florida is an extremely diverse place, unfortunately.
Florida's another country.
Basically, it feels like another country. Having lived in other states before for extended periods of time, there's no place like Florida at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only thing I know about Florida are the weird, like, registered offender camps.
Yeah.
That's basically the only thing I know about your state other than alligators.
Wait, did we start telling people about those?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Are those public knowledge now?
I think you're now on a list, Matt. Congratulations.
More concerned about the alligators, to be perfectly honest.
You have two options at this point. You either become a Floridian or hide.
Right.
Yeah, you can't force me to become a Floridian. I will go down fighting if that's the case.
I mean, as you should, because let me tell you, having lived here almost my entire life, I can't wait to get the fuck out. I'm done.
Yeah. That's two of us.
Yeah, when it's like, I go outside and it's like 98 degrees and I'm like, and then I walk into my box of fucking ice cold freeziness and I'm like putting on layers of jackets and like turning space heaters on. Like, there's no other place that fucking does that. Like,
you know, unfortunately, that's basically Madison in the summer.
Well, that's Florida year round.
Your summer only lasts what, 2-3 months? Florida summer is literally 6 months long.
It's more like 2 or 3 weeks. But
yeah, I was just gonna say
It's actually still summer, believe it or not. Even though it's October, it's literally still summer here.
Yeah, no, we don't get summer until fall until November.
Yeah,
like the end of November.
The weirdest thing about coming out here for me was I grew up in New England, where autumn is half of the year, and in Wisconsin, fall occurs over the span of like a long weekend, and then it's like all of the leaves are off the trees and it's snowing.
It goes from balls hot to very cold.
Yeah,
like
you
rapidly.
go. There's really only like 3 seasons out here.
Yeah, Florida has 2 seasons. It's summer and then a not so hot summer.
Yep. And then there's hold on.
Our winter lasts about 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, so there's that 1 week in like December, January. That's it's like 40 degrees outside, and everybody is like in fucking like
panicking.
Parkas and fucking sweatpants.
No one leaves the house.
I literally in Florida have worn sweatpants underneath jeans before. I'm not even gonna fucking lie to you.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what is wrong with you people? It was 50 today, and I was in short sleeves. Like, what is wrong with you all?
Well, the opposite.
See, we just don't go outside when that shit happens here. We just like no.
If we didn't go outside, we wouldn't go outside for like 90% of our year.
Right.
Like,
that's the difference.
Yeah, but then when it hits like 95 for you guys, you all stay inside, and we're outside in shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah, like 95 is totally okay. Like I'm fine, sure, whatever. 95.
I mean, my AC in my car has been broken for the past 2 months, and I'm waiting until next summer to fix it because it's not worth it right now.
Yeah. Fuck it.
And that's so.
Yeah.
Hooray,
Florida's weird,
Florida.
man. All places are weird, though. I think we've determined.
Yeah,
let's
everything's
talk
got their
about.
quirks.
Let's talk about how weird Raymondi is.
Good
Yeah.
segue.
God,
Well, you guys
come
managed
on,
to
yes.
behave just barely well enough to stay out of jail, so that's good.
Thank you, Megan, for acknowledging the awesome segue that I just performed. Thank you. I appreciate that. I actually set that one up in my brain like 10 seconds before I said it, so.
Yep, I knew you were just waiting for it. Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, so let's quickly recap what happened. You guys explored Raymondi. Oscar is currently depressed. Literally, like, take to disadvantage. It says depression on your character sheet somewhere, because he's pretty sure he was unsuccessful in convincing that singular person that it's a good idea to authorize him to have military-grade equipment. However, there are other options available to you. It's not locked to you.
Somebody will be interested.
Yes, somebody, and even Boomer's forging capabilities may be interested in, in performing that task for you.
And then I can buy 10.
Right.
Because it will be at a 90% discount.
Just add a 0 at the end of that.
Yeah.
So there's that. In addition to exploring Raymondi a little bit, there was some interaction with Chan and trying to put him up in the over 50 complex that I described, basically. Which, by the way, so gonna segue again, like, back into the topic. For those of you that don't live in Florida, do you know what an over 55 community is?
We have those everywhere.
Yeah, those are everywhere.
Okay, good. I didn't know
I think
if that
you
was
just have
actually
more per capita.
Yeah, well, yeah, sure. Yeah.
I will, not to get too far away from actually starting the game here, but I will trump that. We have, like, an over 75,
Nice.
sort of,
Wait,
which is
that's a thing?
basically just...
It's basically just a
There's
nursing
this
home, right?
huge... I don't know what it is anymore, because after what happened the other night, I don't think that they're terribly well assisted. So there's this huge complex down the road, to the point where the cafe next door has a sign on the front that says that they are explicitly dementia friendly. I've never seen a sign before that said, like, it must
What?
be custom. No,
Has
I'm
to
getting
be.
there. Yeah. So the other night, I was driving home. I got out of lab. It was like 11 at night, and there were 3 cars pulled over in front of this place on the opposite side of a 2-lane highway, basically. It's, a semi-major road, not a proper highway, though. And I was like, oh, shit, there must have been an accident. And then I see 2 people, like, hugging in the middle of the road, like, in the road proper. I was like, well, that got weirder. And as I get closer, I realized it was, like, some beyond elderly woman in a robe wandering around at almost, like, we're creeping up on midnight, and these several cars that pulled over to try and presumably shuffle her back into this facility, which is awful, but what can you do but laugh at that?
No, yeah, you just gave me a great idea.
Oh, no. At any rate, yeah, I will trump that.
Yeah, no,
I'll trump
that's pretty
55
good.
plus for
That's
Yeah,
that's pretty good. I can't wait to live in a 55 plus community, to be perfectly fucking honest with you. That seems like a great fucking gig.
Can you, like, pretend?
No, so a lot of the ones
act really
So a lot of the ones in Florida won't even allow you to have visitors for, like, longer than 2 weeks if they're under 55.
Huh.
Yeah, like, you can't even have your grandkids come stay with you for a certain period of time. They don't allow people to live with you that are under 55, like, nothing.
I can sort of understand that.
Yeah, no, that's the whole point, right?
What if you are 55 but your spouse is not 55?
You're not allowed to
Oh,
apply.
yeah. Yeah, if you're like
For reals?
Yeah,
if
for
you're
real.
like
you're not allowed to.
a
You're not
silver
allowed to move there.
fox,
Yeah, right? What if you're a...
and you're robbing the cradle, or like what's the female equivalent, like a snow leopard?
cougar, I believe is
cougar, yeah, I believe is the correct term.
Like
I think snow leopard is an operating system.
Oh no! It's like that's the beauty of it. Is most of
We
the
are
Mac
so
OSs,
far off the rails right now.
most of the Mac OSs are also denominations of frisky elderly women.
Oh. So I just
Keep that in
updated
mind.
to the iPhone 10. What exactly is that one called, Matt? And should I need to worry about
I don't know.
accidentally saying the
I don't
wrong
know.
thing to an older woman and making her think
mean-
that I am into her?
Well, your idea of accidental might not be her idea of
Right.
That might
Right.
just be.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
On the-
no, that was
so-
good.
so
that was
back
good.
to-
We're still under 30 minutes. It's totally fine. It's totally.
I'm gonna direct it. I'm gonna try and help direct it back. One of my goals, and you let me know if I will get any shred of experience, considering Meg ruined this and didn't go along with my plan, was get Omelette into the Sriek program. And the problem is, it was specifically to convince Gogo. That was my goal. So that I 100% failed, but do I get any experience for effort?
Effort experience, huh? Let's finish the recap, and I'll consider
Sure.
that as we go through.
Great.
If I'm going to grant you a participation award.
Pity points.
Yeah. I
Because I took off another goal to try that.
am generally not a fan of participation awards, but maybe we'll see.
That's fine.
we'll
I
see.
accept that.
So Chan tried to get into the 55 home. Gogo flipped a coin that no one had any idea what the flip was for, and then just decided whatever she wanted, according to everybody involved.
See, it was rigged. It was rigged.
Well, yeah, of course it was. So, I'm kidding. I'm just making fun of you, Megan. So, after that occurred, you guys ended up, you ended up separating, and Oscar went and had a very tense kind of meeting with this new individual, Tykert, who is posing himself as the head of the Hrateg family. And there was some interesting conversations there. And on your way back on the train for the other three of you and 4 plus Chan, you had an interesting experience with some of the psychics from the School of Mind. They didn't have a whole lot of give a shit for you, to be honest. But luckily, you didn't try and kill them, so they didn't also then try and kill you. And that's good. That's probably good for all parties involved. And upon arriving back at the ship, Boomer and Gogo took Chan to calm him down a little bit more, and Oscar arrived, and him and Fortune went and had a drink at the bar. And so, before we do anything else, is there anything else anybody wants to do on Raymondi, or can we start like in orbit after we do our goals and stuff?
Yeah, I'm done on Raymondi.
I'm fine for starting in orbit.
So let me double check. my
Can
notes.
if we can montage something,
Sure. What did you want to get done on Raymondi?
I wanted to both drop off the engine grease somewhere so
Right.
that someone more knowledgeable than I
Sure.
could study it.
We do have to do that.
And-
Yes.
And I wanted to see if we could pick up perhaps a friend of mine or perhaps someone that I can beg or pay to come along with me to help me.
I think pay
Brush
is a
up
much
on-
better option here, probably.
Probably.
And also, I'm not sure if, and this is not meant to be mean, but if Oscar has friends anymore that know of his existence.
Oh, totally. But I think, didn't we... You tell me, is there any role conceivably that I could make to see if I know anyone remaining?
So, like, you had, obviously, a lot of contacts, and a lot of people knew you,
Mhm.
but I think that most people, like my own personality, have pretty much just assumed you're dead like the rest of your family. So
Sure.
even if you probably showed up on their door, they may be like, haha, about that whole, like, your family died, all of
Deal.
them.
No, I don't need more explanation than that.
So,
That's okay.
so, like, now, for example, now that you're kind of back and like, operating again through Tie Current, you could begin to establish those connections again, right? Like, you could reach out to people, and they will be, I mean, I don't think there's anyone that wouldn't be initially wary of that, but, you know, at least you could garner some future contacts, is something you could do. And you want to hire essentially a student or a, like, what level of individual are you looking for here?
Well, we're going to be in travel for at least, you know, a good number of days, because our goal is to get to what 0100.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be at least 1, 2, 3, at least 4 jumps.
Yeah, so someone who either wants to get there conveniently, wouldn't mind going along,
Okay.
or, you know, someone of any ability appropriate to help me train up my metapsionics.
Okay. Yeah.
And
so,
like I said, I am more than comfortable just montaging that. If no one has anything else to do here, I don't want to dwell. So
the big problem here is psychics are expensive to hire. They generally sell their services at a pretty high rate. And I assume that Oscar is not looking for someone to go, like, you're probably not looking for a student of metapsionics, perhaps, because they may not be able to give you exactly what you want, right? So
probably,
like,
yeah.
Reasonably, if we're looking at this, 1, 2, 3, 4 jumps is 2 weeks, right? So if it's 2 weeks there and then 2 weeks back, you're looking at maybe, what's that, 28 days? You're looking at maybe like 2,800 credits for a month-long journey.
Yeah, that's a little too rich for my blood.
Yeah, and so, like, it's pretty expensive to get, like, one of those people to go with you. However, you are going to get paid, right? Like, that is, if you dip low now, you're going to get paid fairly handsomely for completing this mission.
I will seek other opportunities.
Okay. Yeah, and it's not like, again, you know the basics of how it works. It will, however, be more difficult for you to, like, you know, advance. More narratively than anything. But
Oh,
yeah.
sure. I mean, the idea was to use that travel time to have them help me master it.
Right.
But right now, that is not as worthwhile to me as...
Right. Yeah, it would be much easier to spend the time, like, on world. Like, the more expensive route is taking someone from their home and basically having to pay them a wage, right, to train you. As opposed to, if you can go and study up here, there's a lot of free resources, it's going to be a lot less expensive, and it's not going to take you 4 weeks to learn, right? Like, you can arguably, even if you hire somebody, cut down on the time that it takes for you to learn it, or at least the time that you have to pay them by, like, staying in one place.
Yep, that's fine. I'll figure out another way to do it.
Okay.
So who do I, as the very last thing, who do I drop this stuff off to?
That, however, will I think require a roll.
Sure.
So you could probably use Culture Raymondi, which everyone has at least a 0 in, unless you've taken more in it. You could also probably roll a science roll, simply just to know who might be on world, or at least
what attribute for the culture roll.
It's going to be intelligence for both of them. Nice. Yeah, cool. An 8 is definitely a success in this particular case. So, yeah, you totally know probably like a testing lab that can like break down properties for you. It's probably tied to one of the local universities, right? Where, you know, they'll test it, and if it's interesting enough, they may even like say, hey, you know, where can we get more of this? We'd like to, you know, test these properties with other things. But you can also just tell them, okay, cool, thanks for my results, and not tell them where you got it or what it is. They can do it kind of, I don't want to say off the books, but yeah, and because it's tied to one of the universities, it won't cost you anything to get it like evaluated, right? Because it's like a study in science for them.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, I would give them as much information as I had.
Right.
Because I don't think...
Up to and including the fact that ingesting it causes interesting effects in at least a psychic trained in what you are trained in?
If I thought it was somebody that would keep it kind of on the low.
Okay. So what are you going to like just be like, hey, I need a substance that I need you know, the properties kind of broken down and put in a readable format for me. Is that what your goal is here, or is your goal
I basically want something that I can feed back to Boomer so that maybe we can isolate.
Sure.
Like, I want someone to do the preliminary work,
right? Okay.
So I don't monopolize.
Right, and also none of you really on the ship are good at that kind of thing, right? Like,
yeah,
you're basically finding an expert in the field of some like biology or whatever to help us out. Yeah, it's totally. You can find somebody and you could just be like, hey, run this through the fucking advanced mass spectrometer and tell me what the properties are and, you know, how everything connects together, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep. I think the tack he would take is to say, like, this is proprietary.
Yeah,
I need you to, like, maybe we can work something out, but for now, this has to be kept on the quiet side.
Yeah.
And just say.
I definitely think you can find somebody that would keep it on the quiet side because, I mean, business is business. And if they, they know if they were to take it, then you would come after them, right? Like, if they were to take whatever things that they had.
Yeah, let's also consider the messenger here.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and you also show up with your fucking katana and cutlass at your side.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, don't worry, we're not going to tell anybody about you, scary guy. But hey, they have a science project, and university people love science projects. Isn't that right, Matt?
Oh, yeah. Loads.
Cool, awesome.
Nothing but love. Nothing but love. Everything always works out as planned.
Yeah, absolutely. Hope it doesn't get mixed up with their vodka bottles. Moving on. Yeah, I definitely think that's something we can montage. So let's talk briefly as we can, about goals that people have and may have been completed or need to be awarded XP. So we'll start with Fortune. Fortune, do you have any goals, sir, that you may have completed?
I have goals, nothing completed.
Man, so that's another one on there. That third one is totally like pretty easily done if you find the right planet. This just is is a bad planet for that particular.
Yeah. So I'm waiting. There's a couple coming up that I think will be all right for fighting that.
For
so
sure.
We'll be fine.
For sure, absolutely. In fact, if you make it all the way to 0-100 without that goal completed, you could just go to the Claris base and be like, hey, I need to requisition some improvements, and that would totally be something you could do.
Yeah, but I based on where we're going, I think there was another stop somewhere that would be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure there's
I have to read through again.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry, we're going to get there. So, Boomer, do you have any goals that you've completed, sir?
Nope.
One is close. I would say there is a close, a very close end.
It's going to take a little bit more time.
Yeah. See, you've wrote teach this thing. Communication is becoming less and less of a problem, but understanding like all the facets of a language.
I fully understand.
Are much harder than that. That third one, though, you could probably complete, and the second one, too, I think. Maybe if your 4 weeks of travel go swimmingly, you might be able to do both of those.
Well, that's my goal. That is my plan.
Because now you actually have stuff to, actually attach and instead of just tinker with. Go?
I think yes, but it's a very small one. And it was only one session, but something.
Yeah, the second one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And for everybody's explore avenues to help Chan via Oscar and his homeworld is the goal that we're talking about here. And you definitely explored the avenues to do so. None of them were fitting for you. There are still other options there, but I think you can net an easy 100 experience for that. No problem.
Okay. Cool.
That is definitely something that is simple and boom, 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 done. Third one is still pending some other things. And, I mean, you totally could have finished that first one if you just would have let those guys test on him. But, yeah. And, Oscar, we already kind of talked about yours a little bit. I think that I will give you a parting gift on the Get Omelet in the Sriak program. So you did fail it. However, that was really out of your control. You did the best that you could, and ostensibly, I think it was on the fence. I don't know, Gogo can probably tell you differently, but it was probably on the fence. She, quote, unquote, flipped a coin for it, right?
It was, we know exactly what percentage it was on or off. It was precisely on the fence itself.
Precisely 50%.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
so...
Yeah, so I think I won't give you full credit for something as big as that, but I'll give you 150 experience for at least opening up that part of the world to others.
Cool.
And that second
That's
one
it for
ostensibly will be solved by the time you get back to Raymondi space, for sure. We'll see about that third one though. Understandably, you may have an answer on that too when you come back, right? That may also be a thing that you have an answer on.
That might come up sooner than later, depending. Yeah. But depending on who takes pity or interest.
Right.
In
the council votes no, but then you get you get a couple messages from some councilmen hey, we heard you wanted to do some clandestine work for the Sriak people. We're interested.
Of course. It's just how our present day government works.
Yep.
You vote no on a thing, but
you vote no
support
on a thing
it anyway, and you take other avenues.
Right. Yeah. So the fact that it'll be brought up to the council, I think, is the avenue. It's perhaps not the most just avenue, but I don't think Oscar cares about that. So, fuck it.
Oscar is results driven.
You're right. Yeah.
I don't
exactly.
know that. Yeah.
Exactly. No, trust me. I understand the results-driven character very well. Considering I play a lot of them. Cool. So, the scene.
If I come up with anything, I'll PM you during the session.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. And that goes.
I have one blank.
That goes for everyone who has a blank goal. You may get things throughout the session that you're like, oh man, that'd be a great goal to have, and then quickly write it down and figure it out.
Cool.
So, we start the vast canvas of space laid out before us, and you guys have departed Raymondi, and you're in transit to the edge of the system so that you can drill ostensibly to 402 or 302, depending on how fast Gogo wants to go. And everybody has had kind of a unique experience, I think, on Raymondi. There were a few interesting things that occurred there that may have affected some people in certain ways. Fortune may be excluded from that. I don't know how Fortune feels about it. But yeah, so I guess that's the question. If there's no conversations to be had, I guess the big one would be if anyone approaches Oscar about those crazy other Sriak that you encountered on the train, right? That's the one thing that is kind of up in the air. But if everybody's willing to just kind of write it off and be like, that was weird, fuck them, let's go. But if nobody,
What are they gonna ask him to go kill them before they leave, or what?
right? But I think that, like, I hope that I hope that I had put it in such a way that it raised some questions on the part of the crew. And if not, that's cool. We can totally move on. But if no one else talks, then I think that the next course of action is to ask Gogo, how fast would you like to fly the ship?
So fast.
All super fast. Although now I'm like super scared to do double jumps.
Yeah. You have a reroll still.
True.
It's like you don't even want to make money.
It's like you don't even want to do your job.
Oh my god, that's
I'm gonna do it, and then it will be an interesting start to the session, huh?
great. Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it.
Or end to the session, depending.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there'll never be an end. I already have
know,
like
I know.
five. I already have like 5 disaster plans in mind for when you guys fuck
But-
up this.
The problem is, I really want to see this thing that you said that you've been working on, but have
It's true.
provided 0 details for.
It's
So
true.
I'm conflicted.
Yes, it's true. I could just make you guys like appear there though, because I'm the space master, and that's what I can do. Although that would be dumb. But yeah, cool. So it's normally a difficulty. What do we determine? Difficulty 7 to make a single jump. So it'd be difficulty 8 to make the double jump. I believe that's how the math works. I always
Yes.
forget. Yeah, and you do not get the +2 for the computer because you don't have that currently. Which probably you guys should look into that. You know, it's like
All right.
it's 100K though. So
Ugh.
Yeah, it's a little up there on price.
Hold your breath.
oh my
Yeah.
god!
Oh
Double
my god, I
sixes.
crushed it.
Holy shit!
Crushed it.
And see
Can we
how
do
how
that
would
like
you have
travel
felt?
faster than space and time thing again?
They've gone plaid.
See,
Yeah,
if we took the lame route, you would have felt
Ludicrous
bad about that.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. I would have been upset.
Go big or go home, Meg.
yeah, I think I'll give you guys an extra day. You guys only use 2 days to get to the
Hell
space, then 3.5. Yeah, so after 2 days, probably what happens after 2 days is you guys drop out of drill space, and nobody's expecting it, right? Like you guys like drop into drill space, and like it's probably not Gogo at the comm, because if you guys remember from way back in session 1, like fucking 4 months ago or whatever, I said that while you're in drill space, somebody has to be manning the con at all times, because you have to monitor gauges, and like reactive shit goes bad, and at least wake Gogo up so she can fix it. So I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna see who's at the con when this happens.
I'm gonna say it's omelet.
Well, it's totally you, Fortune. So
Okay, cool.
so Fortune, you're like kicked up, probably in your seat, right at the communication station, and all of a sudden, like the dropping out of drill space klaxon starts to go off, and like you just feel this tug in your navel, and you just like kind of, you don't feel it, like you slow down at the same speed the ship does.
Yeah.
But like you're now in open space, right? What is your like immediate reaction? And like you probably look at your space watch and you're like, huh, that's like a day and a half before it's supposed to happen.
Yeah, I'm probably like, what we're wrong now. So
Right.
I'm probably checking gauges, and I'm like, okay, one of these can't be reading right. Everything says it's fine. That's not right.
Right? Yeah. So you're like,
So I'm,
what
I'd
do
probably call Boomer and I'd be like, hey Boomer, we're dropped out of drive space a day and a half early, but everything says it's fine. Can you come take a look at this shit?
So, Boomer, are you asleep or are you working? Like, what are you doing when this occurs?
I imagine I am abruptly awoken as I'm surrounded by many different tech manuals, and
Sure.
this is how best to teach this language. and
You didn't secure your book like on your bookshelf above your head, so you actually wake up to it falling like right on top of you, like right in your like solar plexus. So, and then like your comm goes off, and Fortune's voice comes over it.
What? All right. I'll be there in a minute.
Okay.
Well, take your time, I guess.
Yeah, so Fortune, you're like crawling around, like looking at wires, like I don't really know what I'm looking at, but nothing's like leaking or exploding or.
Well, I'm probably just like tapping on different
sure
readouts. Like, is this right? Well, it's not moving. Okay, that must be right. Is this right? And like maybe typing in a couple of different things on different computers. Well, It's responding, so it's not frozen.
Yeah, so I think that as you're doing that, and before, maybe like a minute or so before Boomer gets his clothes on and makes it up to the bridge, you start getting communications on the panel, like the normal jumping into system spam that I've talked about before. And I should actually just move you guys, shouldn't I? Yeah, you start getting like the normal spam that comes with every system jump as a new ship enters the system.
Okay.
So I assume you go over there and start to like scroll through them.
Yeah, I'm like, well, let's see where this thing dropped us into.
Right, because like essentially like where the fuck are we is a good relative answer. So you start scrolling through, and a lot of it is like advertisements for ships. A lot of it is like, come see the best ship in the galaxy for X and X or whatever. Like a lot of like spammed mail for like advertisements like that.
Okay.
And like eventually, you start to like maybe go through some of the advertisements, and like said, come visit us on the Fatin spaceports. We're located at Docking Bay 65. And you start to realize that all of this stuff is from Fatin, which is the planet that is inhabited in this system. And you wouldn't be getting these if you were like in between systems. Like these are local only hails. And so probably like by the time, like right as you realize that, like Boomer, you walk in bleary eyed to the bridge, like one boot on backwards or whatever. I don't know.
That would be impressive. Well, it appears we got to Fatin a day and a half early.
Well, with Gogo plotting the course, did you really feel like there'd be another option?
I thought the ship was just dropping off in random space. Said, "Oh, I'm done jumping now. Let's stop here."
All right, let me take a look at a couple of the readouts. And all right. Oh, by the way, I gotta talk to you about a thing. When we get a minute.
I look around the cockpit.
Yeah, good.
We seem to have a minute now. Would you like some coffee first?
Yes, make it Irish.
Well, I don't know about Irish, but I can make it Spirish.
Let's do that. Jordan, do you want a tech astronautic?
No, I think because you know what to look for, you realize nothing is malfunctioning. And you are 100% in the haze system. And the planet Fatin is actually the 9th planet in this system. And yeah, you appear to be exactly where you meant to go. So it looks like so probably what Boomer may assume that Gogo took tried to course trim and didn't tell anybody, right? Like she was like, "Oh yeah, this should be a shorter route." And you just like appeared here much faster than you normally would have.
Oh. All right, well. We appear to be exactly where we need to be. You should probably get Gogo up here, though. Did we want to stay here at all? This is what, the spaceport?
Yeah. So, for those who don't know, and everyone would know this, the information I'm about to give, Fatin has a very massive spaceport. Arguably, probably the biggest in the whole sector. But the cool thing about Fatin is its spaceport is no one knows really who built it. It was not constructed by Westwind. It was not constructed by any factions that currently exist. It's reasoned a lot that it's pre-tech, or at least pre-Scream. But if it was like low tech back then, right? Like it's a TL4 station, but or at least it has like the same capabilities as most TL4 stations do, and it has like people know what like Mandate tech looks like, and it looks like it's like Terran Mandate, but it looks for people that know stuff about Mandate technology, this appears to be like a very obscure outpost tech, right? Like it was like, okay, that's the fucking bumfuck Egypt, so we're gonna send like we're gonna put as few resources out there as possible, right?
Yeah.
And so the cool thing about the Fatin spaceport is it's the only spaceport, major space yard, like that constructs ships and does ship design and builds ships that is not 100% controlled by the Westwind Corporation. Because it's too big even for them to control by themselves. And all the resources are kind of tied up in all of their other spaceports around the sector. But this one in particular has a lot of third party and a lot of like kind of fledgling space like spaceship builders here. There's a lot of minor factions that like will like either rent or lease out or purchase like a wing of the space yard so that they can make their own design ships. And Gogo, you would know that a lot of these places do like racing ships because Westwind doesn't make those, and they're the only people that make ships. So the only other place to really make other kinds of ships, like recreational or, you know, multi-purpose, like if it's not cargo and it's not fighting, it's kind of here. Like anything that doesn't fall in those two categories, this is kind of where it's made. Right, exactly. You know, so that's a thing. Yeah, so that's a cool thing. There's a lot of like, so the other thing is, and you guys would all know this, there's a lot of weird like stories that are associated with Fatin and the spaceport specifically. Like there's lots of like folk legends that talk about spaceships being completed by themselves, right? Like you know, like they had like a design plan done and they like put it into the computer and left it overnight, and then like the framework was done when they came in. But like 99% of people chalk these up to just being like, oh, well, obviously the night crew came in and did all that work, you know, off the clock, or, you know, wanted to get a quick start in the morning or something like that. There's you know, there's a lot of folktales about this, and probably centered around the fact that it's like one of the only easily accessible pre-Scream locations, right? Like that's basically it. So that's basically all there is to know about Fatin. So anyone have any questions on it? Awesome. Okay, go ahead.
See, no. I just want to make sure I'm on the same page.
Uh-huh.
So it's interesting in that it is old. However, we can't really appreciate anything that is beyond like unique outside the realm of like TL4 capacity.
So exactly. It has
so it's like a curiosity sort of,
right. And like the big deal is like it doesn't have a like it doesn't have like a nanite core. There was no AI in it. Like again, for people that know a lot about the Mandate, this appears to be like a far-flung, never-to-be-heard-from-again outpost, where none of their resources got put into it, and it basically was only there to say, hey, the Mandate owns that sector, or that system, right? Like, that's really the only reason it was there. It wasn't there to actually do things beyond, you know,
cool.
that. Occupy.
Yeah, it was basically just a placeholder for if the Mandate continued to expand, they would eventually probably come in, blow it up, and build an actual spaceport that was able to do what they wanted to do with it. But then, you know, Scream, gazillions and gazillions of psychics die, etc. So that's the deal with
Yeah.
Fatin.
Interesting.
It's also where Fortune is from.
It is.
Did somebody take that down in the sector notes?
Somebody I hope is doing that.
Oh well, ish.
Yeah. I'm sure somebody will get all that. If not, I can always just put it in there. But yeah, Fortune, you're from here, so you know a lot more about this particular. And we'd established you grew up on the spaceport, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, you didn't grow up on the planet itself. You actually grew up in the spaceport.
Correct.
So you know probably more than a lot of people about what goes on, and maybe you're the one who knows all the folk stories about the ships.
I probably tried to pass some ghost stories along to the crew as we're heading to this spaceport.
Yeah, I mean, so
to try to maybe watch people freak out a little bit if we get off the ship at the spaceport and laugh at them as they.
Yeah, I know you're probably not like a super open guy about your like past though, right? Like where you're from.
Yeah, I mean, especially this part of my past because my past started when I joined.
Right. Yeah, that's where your life started, right? Was joining Claris. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So before that, it didn't matter. So.
Right. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. So you guys can totally go to the spaceport now. You don't have to. You can go refuel at the exchange station and just leave, and come back to this another time, and explore. But I did, as always, want to give everybody the little rundown on what each system is, especially the new systems that you travel to.
Cool.
Coolio.
Nothing here I really wanted to do.